In this video, you will learn how to use essential oils to help yourself stay focused and remember more. In fact, I'll show you exactly how I apply essential oils, how I choose essential oils, and how I use them for myself and my clients. I'm Kat Severson, the inventor of the Severson method, a scientifically proven way to learn anything fast. And let's get smelly, shall we? I don't know where you sit on the spectrum of being spiritual or having anything to do with alternative medicine. I love this stuff, but I know that some of my viewers might be thinking, is she serious? Essential oils to help me study for the SAT? What is she talking about? Believe it or not, the olfactory sense, the sense of smell, is one of the first senses. In fact, it is the number one sense that developed in living organisms. Think about a primitive worm. He has no sense of sight, he has no sense of hearing, and yet he can situate himself anywhere he wants. How does he do it? Smell. So let's get rid of the worm now. Sorry, worm. And let's talk about the human brain. What does the sense of smell do for the human brain? So the vapor of scent enters your nose through the olfactory senses, or olfactory nerves. It goes into the very middle of your brain. This is where your thalamus is, and this is where your amygdala is, and that portion of the brain, without getting too scientific and boring, I want to tell you it is responsible for all of your reflexes and all of your unconscious behavior. So from what I understand and what I believe, we may not even be aware exactly how this smell is impacting this very important part of your brain. So how can you use this knowledge? How can you be now armed with this knowledge and help yourself focus and learn more? I know that there are studies done on sage, and there are studies that are done on rosemary and lavender and peppermint oil that prove that students were able to focus more when they were studying in the environment with sage, with rosemary, with peppermint. I believe that those improvements are, I've read those papers, and those improvements are very marginal, and I think it's really hard to prove by what percentage and what oil exactly affects your brain in a particular way. Personally, I despise the scent of rosemary and I despise the scent of lavender. So those two oils that are so popular, they will just not work for me. When I smell these two, I cringe. And I remember when I was still suffering through my learning disabilities, I remember eating sage, like chewing on it and swallowing it. It was not a pleasant experience, okay? So if you believe that just by smelling something, you're going to instantly commit something to memory, I have bad news for you. It's not going to work like this. But how can I use essential oils, Katya? You titled this video, Essential Oils for a Smart Student. How can I take advantage of these oils? I want you to do your own research and identify the smell of the essential oils that feels the most pleasant to you. And I'm the kind of person who doesn't settle for just one thing. I need maybe 2 or 3 different scents. So I have 3 of my personal favorite scents. They have nothing to do with rosemary. They have nothing to do with lavender or peppermint. I have a hard time enjoying these scents. So I want you to incorporate something in your learning routine, something that you would enjoy. And I went to my acupuncturist, and she also does aromatherapy. So you know how when you go to a nail salon, there are these rows of different nail polishes. She has a similar setup with rows of different essential oils. So I asked her if that was okay for me to just spend a little bit of time to just smell different oils, and I obviously had to let myself breathe and think and just kind of feel how my body and how my brain responded to different smells. So ultimately, I found 3 different scents that I enjoy, and I may grow into something else, I may grow out of it, but these are usually 3 that I have. I am obsessed with lemongrass, and I even have a lemongrass shower gel, lemongrass after shower oil. I love lemongrass, and I love lemongrass in food, so obviously I have a lemongrass oil. By the way, I'm not sponsored again by any company. Everything I show you is just something I buy and it's something that I find useful. Another scent that I like to pair it up with is a citrus scent. I have a lemon oil. I have it at home when I work, and I also love a blood orange, and this one's just this one is a lemon oil as well. And another scent that I love is grapefruit. So these are my 3 favorites. None of them are going to be in an article about essential oils for improving memory. By the way, rosemary oil is probably one of the most talked about. But if you don't like that smell, I don't think it will help you. I think it would torture you. But if you enjoy, definitely incorporate it into your studying routine. Here's how I use it. Remember this thing, Pomodoro, my favorite timer. Remember how we would set the timer for 25 minutes and then we would focus for 25 minutes and then we would take a break? I use my essential oils in that break. And I like to think of a human body as a chemistry lab. So I like to do all sorts of like chemical experiments. And here's what I try. I would open my hand and I would take oil. By the way, an essential oil is a very concentrated liquid that has a lot of natural plant compounds. So it has a lot of healing power in it. So just be careful with it and be respectful. And I just put a couple of drops in the palm of my hand. And then just kind of put it around like this. And then I take my right hand and I put a couple of drops of lemongrass into my hand. By the way, that requires ambidexterity, and this is something that I'm commonly working on. I'm commonly working on being able to write with my right and with my left. It does tremendous things for your brain. So if you want to try, that would be a good opportunity for you. Try to pour one oil into one hand and then another oil into another hand. That would give you a sense of how well developed your arms are. And then I spread it around. So now I have 2 different oils. And here is magic. Now I combine the 2. So this is kind of a chemistry lab. And a beautiful thing happens. I really like the marriage between lemon, the sweet lemon, and lemongrass. It just does something absolutely fantastic. And then I smell the vapor and then I get up. Remember, in the 25-minute period, we're laser focused, and then we get up and we are required to walk around in that 5 minutes just to kind of reset your brain. So I walk around the office and I smell my hands and it feels absolutely beautiful. What it does, it resets my brain. It puts my brain into a different state. It's almost like I am playing with a puppy, or I'm looking at nature, or I get a little shower. It resets my brain. And sometimes I even close my eyes. And then in 5 minutes, I go back to my desk. Now, everything smells like lemongrass and citrus. And I reset my clock. I set it for another 25 minutes and it smells fantastic. And now I'm ready to work. So this is how I want you to think of essential oils. This is not something that will immediately make you remember something, but this is something that's very pleasant, and I exclusively use these oils when I study. So if I want to study, if I want to experience something super pleasant, then I'm gonna have to study. That's kind of the agreement that I made with myself. And then what's key is, I know that many of you are subscribed to this channel because you are working on your standardized test, or maybe you're looking to pass an exam. what's key is if you have been conditioning yourself when you're studying, if you have been conditioning yourself to smelling this oil, I want you to take this oil with you to the exam. With my students, when we take SAT or ACT, we actually use an inhaler. I don't have them here because I ran out because it's an SAT and ACT season. But this inhaler is something that you can just put around your neck, and it hangs like this, and we'll include the link for you. And if you conditioned yourself to smelling it during your study, it's a very powerful tool to smell it when you're taking an exam. When you're taking an exam, you want to make yourself as comfortable as humanly possible. And putting yourself in the environment that is similar to the environment where you studied and practiced and you felt confident is a wonderful, wonderful tool. So not only will having these essential oils make your studying experience more pleasant, it will also help you to reintroduce this experience, and will kind of ease you in and assuage your fears and concerns during the exam. Another little tip that I want to give you is, if you are not into essential oils, perhaps you're into hand sanitizers. If you are, I want you to take advantage of this smell experience with a hand sanitizer. This is my favorite. Again, not a sponsor. They should be a sponsor because I buy them for everybody. This brand is called Honest, and they use essential oils as an additive to their hand sanitizer. So let's say I am on a dirty subway. I can just do this, and I rub it, and I smell it, and it smells fantastic. So if you're someone who works with paper, because essential oils can get dirty. If you're working with writing assignment, because when I use essential oils, usually I type, and if you know that it will get messy, this is a great alternative. You just want to introduce a strong but at the same pleasant smell into your olfactory senses and reset the state of your brain, so that maybe you've heard about focused mode and diffused mode, so that you can allow yourself to go from that focused mode into a relaxed diffused mode. And my tip for you is literally try to not go for the blend that has been created for you. Try to create one for yourself. It's a little ritual when you put two together, and it's a fantastic little thing that you can play with when you're studying. And even with perfume, I never use just one. I usually try to play with one perfume in the back of my head, one perfume here, one perfume under my knees. It's really pleasant to just play with different scents and creating your own, and creating this kind of chemistry and experimenting with what feels good. Now, I want you to take action. Please don't buy yourself 45 oils and so that you would not know what to do with them. Buy 2. Buy 3 different ones. But first, go to the store and smell different ones. And don't go by the research. I don't think that that's helpful, especially if you breathe it in and you get this like, oh, maybe in your past life you... I'm fairly certain that lavender did something to me in my past life. So when I smell lavender, it doesn't relax me. It wants me to kill myself. So lavender wouldn't work. And I'm so happy that my boyfriend and we are on board. But I know that some people really smell their bedrooms. They spray their pillows with lavender. They bathe in lavender. I couldn't imagine doing that. So please don't try to go by research, especially if you're someone who's very sensitive to smell. Don't try to follow the trend of science that produced some marginal effect, but making this a part of your routine and just enjoying it, enjoying the smell, and making it something that you are looking forward to, because I know studying requires a lot of energy, and making it something that you look forward to is something that you can just do for yourself. So one more thing I wanted to mention to you about hand sanitizers. And I don't just have this one, I have other hand sanitizers I want to show you. Those are portable and they're great, and especially if they smell nice. So when I buy my hand sanitizers, I buy them with an essential oil, the smell of which I would enjoy. And I know from my experience of just recommending essential oils to my clients, some of them are a little bit weary about oil, and they really love the hand sanitizer idea. So you need to kind of a reset, pick you up substance, and you don't want to drink any coffee because you know you have scheduled your going to bed time around 11 o'clock because you need to sleep for at least 7 to 8 hours to consolidate all the memories. If you're not doing that, make sure you watch the SRP, the 3 best studying techniques. I will link that video down below as well. But the one perfect thing about using essential oils and using them through a hand sanitizer is when you inhale the essential oils and now your hands are absolutely clean and you are prepared to do a palming exercise. If you guys don't know what a palming exercise is, you have not watched the palming exercise video. So find that video. I will make it a suggested video for this one because these two kind of go hand in hand together. Once I do my essential oils, and let's say I've been reading for a long time, it's a perfect time to do a palming exercise. Plus, my hands are clean. And the oil is not going to ruin any makeup or clog any pores. So watch the palming exercise next. And also, let me know what exam you're preparing for. Let me know what essential oils you like, what combination you enjoy. If you're like me or you just like to go straight with one, let me know. And don't forget, every month we pick one person who gets to get a free session with me. Live in New York City? Sure, come down to the office. Or if you don't live in New York City, if you live anywhere else in the world, I want to talk to someone from New Zealand, for example. Never talked to anybody from New Zealand. Never had a student from New Zealand. I have friends from there, but never had a student. If you are from there, leave a comment. I would love to help you out with your standardized tests, help you out with your exams that you're working on. And every month we pick one lucky winner. So make sure you comment, like, and subscribe, and watch the palming video. I'll see you there, guys. Bye.